for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Palmer, for saving the best for last.
Well, I'm actually last.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But I accept that compliment.
Mr. Dodaro, great to see you. When I was elected to Congress 3 Novembers ago, I never would have expected that GAO would be my new favorite department. And what you and your team do is integral to our role as oversight and to helping make sure that our federal government is lean, mean, and responsive to the citizens that they serve. And so thank you to you and your team for all that work. And I don't start any project off without saying, hey, what does GAO say about that? And not try to recreate the wheel. What I'd like to talk to you about is the VA. And your recent report indicates there are significant gaps between the VA's stated plans and its actual progress. You flag improving access to timely medical appointments as requiring immediate action. This is after the VA has already spent $127 million over 9 years to modernize outpatient scheduling. What's the current status of the VA's scheduling system? What actual progress has there been in improving the scheduling of veterans' medical appointments? And why is this such a problem?
Yeah, this current scheduling system they have is 30 years old. It's been a problem because it hasn't been properly managed. Their IT structures, we just issued a report. Dave Ponder, who I'm sure you're very familiar with.
He's fantastic. I see him over there.
Dave's here, and he can explain their IT problems in more detail. I'm very concerned about this area. I raised it to the high-risk list last update because I knew it wouldn't be fixed right away, but I'm disappointed in the lack of progress.
So, and to both of you, gentlemen, Mr. Pound, it's always good to see you, and thanks for your work that you and your team are doing on the scorecards that we offer, provide on the agencies. I had a veteran come up to me recently, had heart problems, high blood pressure, and he lived in Texas. He was in Florida visiting his kids. He goes into the Florida VA because he was having real problems, didn't have his medicine. Took 9 hours to get him to get entered into the system. It's 2017, for God's sake. This is, you should be able to pull him up. Is the enterprise so big that it requires years to implement a scheduling system in your expert opinion?
No, absolutely not. I mean, they should go to a commercial solution. There are commercial solutions. Obviously, scheduling medical appointments is not unique to the Veterans Affairs Department. They will tell you that as well. I'm also concerned that they're not measuring wait times for patients. They don't start measuring wait times until a veteran can call for an appointment, then they have to check eligibility, then eventually a scheduler will get back to the person, and then they'll ask them when they're first available to have an appointment. And then they'll say, well, I'd like to come in on the 17th, let's say, for example. And they say, we don't have anything on the 17th. So they'll start only from that time counting wait time when it could have been many days before this even transpires. But Dave can talk about the IT. They spend over $4 billion a year, and we're getting very limited return on that investment.
I'm glad this table is attached to the floor because I'd flip it over on the next topic, and that's DOD and VA electronic healthcare interoperability.
I'll come and help you.
How long is it going to take us to achieve true interoperability?
We flagged this issue probably 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the two most bureaucratic government entities trying to work together in this area. They haven't done it. They still haven't provided us a good rationale for why they decided not to have an integrated system, and they've gone off on their own way. DOD has a system that's, they bought now a commercial system. Maybe VA ought to consider, that as an option as well. I don't want to limit competition and procurement. I'm not saying that, but studies that were done show that 90+% of the requirements are the same for the two systems.
Mr. Pownell, you
Yeah.
can have the remaining time I have or do not have.
Well, I think the key here with both scheduling and electronic health record, they go hand in hand. So you could modify the current systems, or you can go commercial. With commercial electronic health records, there's typically scheduling modules. VA is piloting those initiatives right now. They're leaning towards the commercial decision. Now that the Secretary is in place, they're waiting for the decision to be made. The decision should be go commercial. That'll go a long ways towards interoperability with DoD.
Buy, not build.
Correct.
Excellent. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize myself for